2 meals a day versus the OMAD diet. Which diet is better? If your goal is to lose weight, to improve your health, to drop body fat, are you better off just eating 2 meals a day, or should you just eat one big meal a day? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Hello everyone, my name is 𝙒𝘾𝙃𝙏 and I've been a fitness trainer and gym owner for over 30 years. And if this is your first time here and you really want to improve your fitness, health, and nutrition along with me, hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos. Okay, let's get right on topic. Let's talk about the 2 meal a day diet versus the OMAD diet. First, I'll go over what these diets are, and then I'll go over how I personally utilize these diets, and then we'll go over what the scientific research has to say about these two diets. Okay, the 2 meal a day diet is just what it sounds like. You're eating 2 meals a day. I've been eating like this. Me and my wife have been doing this for like 9 or 10 years now, pretty much on a regular basis. A lot of people would call this the 16-8 intermittent fasting diet, meaning that you're fasting for 16 hours and then you're taking in all your calories within an 8-hour eating window. Some people will eat more than 2 meals within their 8-hour eating window, but I prefer just eating 2 meals a day when I'm following the 16-8 diet. And I'll do this diet 75% of the time, 6 days a week. But then on Sundays, me and my wife, we do the OMAD diet. That stands for 1 meal a day, OMAD. And the protocol I personally follow is 24, meaning that I fast for 20 hours on Sunday, and then I take in all my calories in one big feasting meal with the whole family, friends, and my parents would generally come over within a 4-hour eating window. But a lot of people take a much more extreme OMAD. They may fast for 23 hours and take in all their calories within a 1-hour eating window. Well, I like to do that 24 on Sundays. That on Sundays I like to wake up in the morning, have a couple of cups of black coffee. It's okay when you're doing this fasting to have black coffee. Then I like to take a 2-hour fasted walk. I drink a whole bunch of mineral water, hydrate myself, get my potassium, get my magnesium in, drinking this mineral water. And then I like to take a 2-hour fasted walk, come back, do a little bit of a core work, maybe stretch out a little bit, a little mobility movement. And then I like to have a 4-hour feasting window. I love it. I really look forward to it. And I'll follow this 16-8 OMAD on Sunday. I'll do this for maybe 4 or 5 weeks, but then I personally like to take a diet break. Okay, research has shown that if you're constantly restricting calories, and that's what happens in my opinion when you're limiting your eating window, when you only eat 1 meal a day, it's hard to keep your calories up. So if you do that, this is not a diet, an OMAD diet, that I would recommend people doing it long-term every single day. It's really hard to keep your calories up when you're only eating 1 meal a day. And what happens then, you get the metabolic effect of calorie restriction where your metabolism will slow down. So I like to take diet breaks every few weeks, and then I'll eat normally for 4 or 5 days. Or sometimes I like to just do refeed days intermittently within the week. So for example, I might do 16-8, say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then have a feed day on Thursday, do 16-8, Friday, Saturday, do OMAD on Sunday, and I may just follow that cycle for a while too. So there's a lot of different ways where you can experiment with the 2 meal a day diet or the OMAD diet. Okay, now let's talk about what the scientific research has to say about these diets. Okay, there was one really good study comparing 1 meal a day to a 3 meal a day diet without calorie restriction, meaning that they wanted to keep the participants' calories up to see what happens. I mean, will people lose weight? What happens to the blood work of these individuals when they're only eating the same amount of calories in one big meal? They did 24, similar to what I do on Sundays, or if they eat 3 meals a day. And this is what the research determined. They said that the group who ate only 1 meal a day without restricting calories actually had a good reduction in body fat. Over an 8-week study, they lost over 4 pounds of body fat, which is really pretty incredible. So this study really does show that if you're eating the same amount of calories, but you're consuming them all within 1 meal as opposed to 3 meals, you can lower your body fat. So that's a big plus for the OMAD diet. There were a couple of negatives though. One negative they talked about is that the people were hungry, that the participants were hungry when they were only eating 1 meal a day. And I have to say, I do find that, when I do my OMAD diet on the weekends, but it could be somewhat thrown off because I just walked 2 hours and I did a little bit of a 20-minute workout. So I'm pretty hungry when it comes to my 4-hour eating window. So that is a little bit of negative. of doing the OMAD diet. The other thing that showed up in the study is that for some reason, the participants' blood pressure, systolic blood pressure, was elevated from the group who only ate 1 meal a day compared to the group who ate 3 meals a day. But the researchers, made it in the notes of the study saying that could just be maybe the normal circadian rhythm. For example, they were taking the participants' blood pressure late afternoon, and people's blood pressure does go up as the day goes on. Plus, they referenced another study that did have calorie restriction, which compared 1 meal a day to 3 meals a day, and there was no increase in blood pressure there. Plus, I've looked at a lot of intermittent fasting type studies, like 16-8 type studies, and actually I've even looked at some studies that showed improvement in blood pressure, reduction in blood pressure from limiting your calories to an 8-hour eating window. Okay, so that's one. There's some pluses, some negatives to the OMAD diet there. Now let's look at another study. Actually, I like the study because I'm a weightlifter. I lift weights all the time. Comparing the 16-8 diet to a more traditional 3 meals a day diet. And plus, the same thing with this study. They did not restrict calories. They kept both groups ate the same amount of calories. One group did a 16-8 protocol where they fasted 16 hours. They took in all the calories within an 8-hour eating window. And the other group just ate 3 meals a day. Both ate the same amount of calories, but they did lift weights on a regular basis during this 8-week study. And actually, similar to the OMAD diet, the group that did 16-8 who fasted actually dramatically reduced their body fat, over 16% compared to the group who ate 3 meals a day. They only had like a 2.5% reduction in body fat. So that's another big plus for the 16-8 diet. So what's the takeaway from this? Like, which diet should you do? Should you do the 16-8? Should you do the OMAD? A lot has to do with lifestyle. Obviously, both diets, I think, are very effective for lowering your body fat. I also think for improving your health. There's so many health benefits. I'm gonna link up a video I did about the 16-8 intermittent fasting diet and all the health benefits you get from being in a fasted state. Things like increased insulin sensitivity, autophagy. There's so many hormonal benefits to being in a fasted state. But you have to figure out for your own personal life what works best for you. I think OMAD is a great short-term strategy, something that you would do intermittently, maybe once or twice a week. I don't think you should do this long-term every day because you're going to be restricting calories, too much for too long. Your metabolism is actually going to slow down. No matter what, when you lose weight, your metabolism does slow down. It's called the metabolic effect. Like, you just need less energy to stay alive because you're smaller, you're consuming less. But when you do extreme calorie restriction, you can slow your metabolism down more than restricting calories intermittently. That's why the OMAD is a good, maybe 1 or twice a week long-term strategy. But I think long-term, I think you can do 16-8 like I do it 75-80% of the time because you can get in a good amount of calories eating just 2 meals a day. I think 2 meals a day is a great long-term strategy to lose weight, to improve your health with taking some diet breaks, just how I do it. Okay, well, I hope you liked this video. If you did like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you've been experimenting with 16-8 or OMAD and have some questions about it, you have some good or bad experience with it, leave a comment. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day.